Mr. Raven, and I'm here once again with ATrapper, joined along with Wunderwafe. Go ahead and say hello.
Hi, I'm ATrapper. This is my second time on the show. I'm responsible for the absolute pinnacle of the Court of Oryx dungeons, the Nidarian Reef, and also a terrible artist.
Hello, I'm Wunderwafe. I am responsible for bringing the infected assassin skin into the game. I am one of Deca's UGC artists, and most recently my work has been the Kingdom skin set for every class in the game.
Found us somehow without knowing where all of the Mad God is. Realm is an MMORPG permadeath game based around RNG. ATrapper and also Wunderwafe here is one of the UGC workers who works on anything Deca enslaves them to do. Going along with the new format, our sponsors this week are the Mad Peach servers, featuring LHC, EDZ, and the Shatters. All of these you want to join for the upcoming month of the Mad God events. The other server that is still graciously sponsoring us is Realm Slayers. This week we had Month of the Mad God hype building, then it finally beginning. This came with oh so many surprises, with a new dungeon, a new class, and new events. Now for that news. It's Month of the Mad God, and dang is it exciting. Everything started on Tuesday when Silex went into EUS2 and popped some of the new dungeon. The new dungeon has around 5 areas, and at the end of it you have the Deca, which is just a Pentaract but with 10 areas. And then in the middle, it spawns a large Pentaract, which you can kill, and you get vanity white bags from it.
Yeah, it's probably going to get updated.
Probably.
Yeah, the dungeon is actually, the Deca at least is insanely hard. I've noticed that. It's basically impossible to survive it without doing it in like extremely populated realm or realm slayers or stuff like that.
Bro, just
realm
dodge
slayers,
it.
We did like a, or just
Good.
or just dodge. Just get good at the game, gosh. Like realm slayers, we did some 60 people raids whenever the Month of the Mad God update first came out. And even then, we still failed some of the Deca.
Oh, they're ridiculous right now.
Right now they are ridiculously hard. So you guys said something about them being updated.
Yeah, probably just a damage scale. They actually got buffed really close to release, and it got pushed a little bit too quickly out of testing, and so they're probably going to scale it back within the next couple days.
All right, well, that's good at least. We can actually like do that dungeon now without it being too terribly insane to try to complete. So, ATrapper, what's your involvement in the Month of the Mad God creation?
Honestly, not much. My only real claim to fame when it comes to Month of the Mad God is the descriptions for the Wakazashis. That's about it.
How about you, Wunderway?
So, as many of y'all know, if you're participating in this Month of the Mad God, I created the Kingdom skins. They've actually got quite a nice little story behind them. The Kingdom skins were actually originally to be implemented with the Epic chests, being able to get different skin unlockers and tokens to purchase either of the skins. But we then decided further along the line that, you know what, Month of the Mad God's coming along. Let's make some new vanity skins for players to collect during this time to celebrate the game.
Fair enough.
By that, I mean I procrastinated it really hard.
Oh, yeah, great. Wonderful. Would any of you recommend UGC work?
I definitely would. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I really enjoy it, and, it's just a great thing to be a part of. I like being a part of this game.
I would definitely recommend it. I feel like people get a different view on what UGC members actually do, and I think it's important to note that if you want to go into UGC, you have to have a mindset of what would be most healthy for the game versus what I want for the game. And that's a pretty huge turn that you have to take, depending on the person whenever you join UGC, but as long as you have an open mind and you are welcome to criticism, I think that you would greatly enjoy working on Realm of the Mad God.
Did either of you have involvement with the new class at all?
I think both of us had involvement in scrapped stuff for the class, but not the new class in particular.
Yeah. Like I said, there's the fact that I did the descriptions for the Wakazashis, but that's it. And I made a skin for it.
I did the sprites for the Wakazashis as well, but it's hard because we could talk about some of the scrapped stuff, but it may come back, so we really can't say much.
Right.
Oh,
right.
feels bad, man.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I could talk about it. There was some very cool stuff. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really cool stuff.
So did you do all of the sprite work for T1 through T6 and the UTs, or did you just do the sprite work for the tiered?
Just for the tiered.
Who did the sprite work for the untiered?
Completely honest, I have no idea. I want to yell at them,
I'm guessing it was
though.
probably I'm guessing probably Crathan, considering his involvement with it.
He basically ran the entire new class. He worked his butt off. He did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Did he code most of the new class?
So I feel like he did all of the iterations that came in There was a lot of scrapped stuff, a lot of cool stuff that Silex also made, but everything that ended up being fully fleshed out and best for the game ended up coming from Crathen.
Also, I'm pretty sure Crathen was the one directly responsible for the Wakizashi ability, as well as the sheath, actually.
Yeah, he was the forerunner of both of those.
So why did they eventually not use the sheath and use the Wakizashi over the sheath?
I think it was just that there was more community feedback leaning towards for the Wakizashi. And of course, there was that whole vocal minority that came out towards the end of the testing of the class for the sheath. But I think overall the community was happier with the Wakizashi. Now, I don't want to get too far into this because I know it's very controversial and a lot of people have different opinions with it. But I think it was just like all the data and stuff was pointing towards the Wakizashi being the better option.
I feel like I have a little bit to add on to that. The sheath as an ability is a fantastic item. It's very cool. However, what people don't understand is that it is very, very niche. And whenever you're building an ability for any video game, not just Realm of the Mad God, you have to think about the practicality of an ability item. And unfortunately, the sheath just fell into way, way too small of a niche, which is escape from specific bullet patterns that the Trickster not only does better, but also keeps itself out of danger. The sheath is a very cool item, and I definitely would like to see it revisited, but what we had to test just wasn't a viable ability item to define a class around.
And in addition to that, I think it was also that it's kind of like the Trickster before the recent buff. You know, the prisms, for decoys at least, didn't feel viable at all. And I just sort of see it in a similar fashion to that.
Yeah, like just with the sheath, it would just be completely and totally outclassed by the Trickster.
Yeah, essentially.
Of course, they do have some different utilization that you could do. Like with the sheath, it does damage, of course. So why not use it anyways, just because it uses damage? Because the Trickster, the prism itself, the tiered prisms don't do damage, but... So since we just had some technical difficulties, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question. So when does Unity come out?
I think there's no set date, but the people at Deca are working very hard on it, and a lot of their efforts right now are going towards Unity. And like I said, there's no definite date. Even Wonder and I have no idea when it's going to come out. But rest assured, they are working incredibly hard on it.
I feel like a lot of people get a bit impatient, and it's not unjustified. You know, we all want to know when Unity is coming out. But at the same time, from our perspective, we can give a little bit of insight, because sometimes we'll ask questions like, hey, could we possibly add this as a feature? And when they respond with, guys, we are spending all of our resources in porting to Unity, I think that's a good sign, and I think that shows that Deca is really trying their hardest to get Unity Realm of the Mad God up and running as quickly as possible. So rest assured, even if it does take them a while, they're trying to make sure that the game is fully functional and ready for the player base when it does finally come out.
So have you guys done the new dungeon yet?
I've done it exactly once on testing, and I died in the first boss fight. So long story short, don't try to do Gulper on a warrior.
No, I don't. I think you just need to not stand on him.
Well, that helps, yeah, but it also helps to be good at the game, which I am not. So
I'm a player who doesn't suck on the game. I have done it one time on a warrior, okay, ATrapper, on production. I made it to the final boss. We defeated the final boss, and I took a look at the final boss after defeating it and said, wow, this was utterly ridiculous. I am never fighting this again until it gets updated. Hopefully it'll be updated in the next few days.
I hope, because it's actually insane.
Oh, it's frustrating at the very least.
I think there's actually a meme on Reddit where it's like Decaract right now, and it's an edited video of a Pentaract tower shooting out. It's like a missile launcher, but it's firing like millions of Pentaract eyes every second, and that.
Wonderful. So going to talk about new other releases, we have the Assassin ST set, which we actually talked about together in our last podcast together, ATrapper. So that finally got released. How excited are you about that?
I would be even more excited if I knew it was going to be released. But, yeah, I'm very happy to see that it's out now, which is great.
What, you didn't know it was going to be released?
Actually, no, I had no clue that it was being released, and I didn't even know it was a thing until one of my guildmates posted that he got the ring from Parasite Chambers, and I was just very confused. But I'm still very happy that it's a thing now, officially.
So rule of thumb, UGC members know less than all of the players apparently, because we weren't told when it was going to be released, and it wasn't in the update logs, even for the main Reddit page. They listed off all the new content and it wasn't included. That being said, I'm super excited to see it out. I always love whenever old, staler content, something like Parasite Chambers, while it's still relatively new, gets a little bit extra and something else to run it for. I'm always a huge proponent of that, and it's always exciting.
Another thing with Month of the Mad God is the calendar, the calendar in general. So we have the Shaitans event this week, and then on Friday, the Shatters event starts. That's going to be insane with all the Discords running it. I'm a leader in the Shatters Discord, one of our sponsors, and we have around 5 channels of 85 people each ready for the Shatters event. It's going to be so great.
Probably more with just my guild than anything else. I mean, I like raid servers like SBC, the Shatters, Lost Halls, but I much prefer running with my guild, just because I don't like having tons of people in my dungeons. I'll personally be running a ton with my guild, though. For the Lost Halls event, I'm probably just going to run that with the Discords, just because it's a lot simpler and easier and that whole thing.
So I'm pretty excited for the calendar. I'm mostly looking forward to the Lost Halls event, because while I can seem to get a ton of the Lost Halls whites, I actually can't get any of the tops to save my life. So I'm going to be playing this game an inhuman amount of hours during that event. And the rest of the calendar, I'm just looking forward to it. I always love whenever there's new things to run around and kill.
Oh, the Oryx Swords are so good. I love them. Just because it's something new in the realm. We haven't had that for a while. Last thing was the Parasites, I think.
Yeah.
And now with Month of the Mad God and the Oryx Hordes, it's kind of great. I love it.
On testing, I tried 1 or 2 Oryx Hordes out, and it felt a lot better than last year's. I haven't tried it on production yet, mainly because and it's the same thing as the new dungeon. I just haven't had a lot of time these past 2 days, and what time I have had for Realm has been maxing out a Samurai. I haven't really done an Oryx Horde yet on production, at least in the new version. But on testing, it felt so much better to run, just because the things aren't massive DPS sponges.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't participate in last year's Month of the Mad God. How about you remind people of what it was like?
It was very similar, but I mean, there are some changes. I think the damage was it might have been toned down. I can't remember. The HP was definitely toned down a lot. Before, I think the base HP on the Spectral Oryx was around 300,000, if I'm recalling correctly. But now it's about...
Wait, did it not scale?
No, that was before scaling was a thing. It was a couple months before Parasite Chambers, so yeah, that was before scaling.
Parasites were the first thing to implement scaling, wasn't it?
Yeah, but thing was just super difficult to kill unless you had a huge group running it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I just remembered the other huge improvement to Oryx Horde. Earth Smash does not insta-kill anymore. I lost my 8/8 Paladin. It was probably...
You lost a Paladin on buff.
Yes. This thing was if you got sat on by... And keep in mind, this is thrown at the players as a grenade. So it lands, instantly explodes, and if you were on top of it, you would be pretty much instantly dead.
Well, with Month of the Mad God comes a lot of tokens and stuff like that. So we have the Moss tokens, we have the Oryx tokens, which you turn in for Kingdom skins, and then you have the last ones, which are... What's the last one's called?
Yeah, the stone tokens for the stone skins. Those were the ones that were released last year in the I think they were in all 3 types
okay,
of bags.
So the Kingdom skins are new then?
Okay, so the Kingdom skins are going to be, well, they are currently a new addition with Realm of the Mad Gods, a Month of the Mad God event. You currently can trade them in for 10 Oryx tokens, and not to, pat myself on the back, but I currently love the way that they're implemented. The new token system is definitely improvement over last year, and originally we were going to randomly include those random skin unlockers, but Deca stepped in and said player feedback was kind of negative on that, so they changed things up, and now we can choose which skins we want, which is a fantastic addition.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really like the new way of acquiring the skins, and actually I was kind of in the dark on how you acquire them until I saw the promotional image, and I was just very happy as soon as I saw that. It seems like a much better way of acquiring them than the previously intended way of going about it.
Yeah, you would trade in your tokens to get a Kingdom skin unlocker, which you would then use, and you'd get a random Kingdom skin.
So yeah, I like the token idea. Again, I haven't been here for any of the Month of the Mad Gods, but the token idea has definitely intrigued me a lot. It's a great incentive to actually do the events, since they drop only from the events leprechauns and the Orc Swords, and stuff inside of Orc Swords, of course, but that's about it. So it's great incentive to do it with a reward, because
I actually haven't gotten to see it too much.
How you're in UGC? How do you not see my skins? You're supposed to be testing these.
I just got my wisdom teeth removed, man. I've been
Excuses.
Yeah, tell that to whatever medication I was on that I took once and didn't take again.
jeez.
In all fairness, I never ran a single Nidarian refall.
Okay. You didn't have to go that far.
I didn't mean that meanly. I was busy
Chooses your
doing
best of
not
friends.
important things.
Oh, I actually like the Kingdom Archer skin. I don't know what the huge issue with it is.
Talk about the issue with
No,
it.
don't go the way of me. Don't go the way of me.
So it was really interesting. There was a lot of Kingdom skins. They got leaked initially. These were the ones that were going to be with the questing system. And a lot of people were like, redesign the skins. Well, I personally wasn't happy with the skins in their state. A lot of people were happy with them. It was kind of, some testers were like, no, these emphasize like what a kingdom should be. And other testers were like, these could be a bit better. And I ended up agreeing with those other testers, and I redesigned. The Kingdom Archer skin used to actually be an archer with a scar on his face. And so a lot of testers messaged me. They're like, bro, you should have gone with that Scarface Archer. But I really, really think that this current Kingdom set more emphasizes the Kingdom, with the 3 melees and the Archer all representing the King's men going into battle to be consumed by the Void.
Yeah, personally, even just the idea of the Kingdom Archer skin in its current iteration, I like that more than the Scarface Archer one.
This section is finally being used for its intended purposes. Its other purposes are usually flexing. We actually have something to report on this time, though, and that is the Deca Anniversary Pack, which is amazing.
I agree.
We get 100
personally,
mystery stat pots.
I really like how they went about it this year. I know last year it was sort of similar, but I don't recall any additional rewards on top of just the mystery stat pots. Now, I really like how they did it with Threshold instead of just a flat, for every 2 shares, you get 1 additional potion, I just like how they implemented it this year, especially with the mystery skins.
So I'm a huge proponent of free stuff. Give me all the items, please, because I am terrible at the game and I only have 1 character with any stats maxed. But I love the premise behind these packs that they give out during Month of the Mad God, which is bring back old and new players, get them started, kind of push them off, just get old players and new players back into the game. So I'm always a fan of this, as long as it's a yearly event.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, with Deca, it's like, push them off, let them go. But with Kabam, it was like, push them off a cliff. Anyways, going on. Yeah, I mean, I love the extra legendary skins because I'm really bad at luck. and I only got like 2 of them with the last Wood Lab events, and I hosted like 200, 300 of them. So that's pretty sad.
So it's funny because you guys just reminded me about those skin unlockers, and so I just logged on to Realm and I opened them because I still had them in my thing. I got the Nameless Sorcerer skin and Doom's Steed pet skin,
hate you.
which I love this pet skin. I love this pet skin. I'm so excited.
Despise you.
No.
I got the Beachcake Rogue and I think the Sagittarius pet skin.
Dude, both
The
solid.
Beachcake Rogue so bad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Lucky boy.
Dude, I was so
that's
happy
solid.
to get that. I was so happy to get that.
Lucky.
How about
boy.
you? What did you get?
Oh, dude, I don't even remember what I got. All I know is that it wasn't good.
Hope it wasn't one of my skins, then I'll feel bad.
No, it wasn't.
No, he said it wasn't good. It's definitely one of your skins.
No, thanks, man. Appreciate
no
your love
problem.
and support.
No problem, man. I got you. Anytime.
So the other packs include the Fame Misery box, which has stupidly low chances for anything useful, with the loot including tokens, more tokens, and also mystery dice. Although I love tokens, please give me more tokens. I want more skins. Though you can only... How many times can you roll that, actually?
It doesn't matter. You're just getting moss anyway. Just call it the fame to moss converter.
I saved 60,000 fame for this?
What do you mean you don't want 5,000 pieces of moss in your gift chests?
I haven't actually run it because I have no account fame. I know I'm a terrible player, but I never die. I have like...
Except for that warrior.
Except for that testing warrior. Okay. No, yeah, I just
He
never
only dies
die
on
on
testing
prod.
because he only plays on testing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the life of all the closed testers, honestly. We are no, yeah.
Yeah.
I just haven't died in a while on a good character on prod, so I believe I only have around 100 account fame right now, so
Nice.
yeah. Not even enough for a single roll.
I'm saving that 56,000 for the next chest, which will hopefully be better.
Don't worry, you'll go from getting 10 moss tokens to getting a single stone token.
Yes!
It's even
And
better.
59 moss tokens.
59 moss tokens.
Have either of you done the events? If so, what white bags?
I have done a couple of the a couple Shaitans since the event began. Not many, only because I just haven't had a lot of time, and I've just been doing the ones in U.S. Southwest's Nexus. And I haven't gotten any white bags yet, unfortunately, but I have gotten a rare mystery skin. I think I got Thunder God, the Thunder God Sorcerer from it.
Why are you so lucky?
I mean,
Because like it might not even be that they're better. It's just that they sound better than what I got.
yeah, you get maybe Underworld Archer, or if you're so lucky, Infected Assassin, and I get the amazing Beach Cake.
I want the beach cake so bad, please.
Did somebody say infected assassin?
Get out of here. So, any of the new sets?
I have not. No, I haven't gotten anything. Oh well, no, I did get the spell from the Sun Wizard. I got that from the Shaitan's event. That's that and the skin are it. I've heard the rates are very good for items in general.
I actually, this isn't event related, but I just want to whinge for a moment because I can. I have gotten no untiered rings, expos included. Well, white bag rings, I'm going to include expos, for months, but I've gotten 3 event whites since my last untiered ring. That being said,
What?
I hate
God.
this game. So I've been running around with Exa HPs for the past few months, and I hate being alive. But other than that, my luck is actually pretty solid. I got a rare skin, my first Shaitans, and none of the new white bag items, but I'm certain I'll get one at some point.
I mean, as long as you don't get a rare pet skin. Like, rare skins are actually okay. Rare pet skins just make me want to cry.
Get a golden pet skin and then get the zombie dog pet skin because that's actually the infected assassin of the pet skins.
Did you make that one?
Yeah, I did. It was supposed to go with the infected assassin.
Of course you did. Have to promote your own work.
Oh my God, you better believe if I get a chance to plug my own work.
So what event are all of you most excited about?
Definitely the Lost Halls event. I mean, obviously, I'm obviously going to be very excited for the Nidarian Reef event, mainly because
Shameless
I still
plug.
have keys left over. No, definitely I'm most excited for Lost Halls just because it's the first Lost Halls event. It's like a once a year sort of thing. Doesn't happen much at all. It's just going to be really interesting to see how that goes. And that's what excites me.
So for me, the most exciting event is actually going to be it's a tie. Either the Lost Halls event, which ATrapper just went over, or the double white bag event. Now, I'm all for increased drop rates. Yet whenever you say, boy, you're getting increased drop rates, and boy, it's going to event white. Oh my God. You got a Wunderwafe excited.
But 2 times 0 is still 0.
Wow, what a great Reddit meme. You're original.
Hey. That's part of the Reddit culture, the reposting and
Stealing memes.
no you.
Oh, you got him.
Oh wow, you're cool.
Yeah.
Title this ATrapper Shreds host.
Absolutely destroys Mr. Raven.
No coming back from that one.
Sorry, bud. You can just see your way out now.
Oh, you guys host the podcast now. See ya.
Hey, I'm on the podcast enough.
Yeah, you're the first person to come on here for a second time.
Yeah.
Mr.
There.
Popularity over here.
Oh yeah, I'm
Gosh.
basking in the glory.
So section 3 is for announcements, paid sponsors, and question from fans. So the first thing we're going to be doing is questions from fans. First one is, do you think that we should make such a big deal about unofficial clients?
It depends on the unofficial client. Now, when you say unofficial clients, most people instantly think, oh, you're talking about hacked clients. And I'm 100% against hacks. I do not think hackers should have any sort of sympathy or anything like that. But if we're talking about unofficial clients, like a client where someone makes it so they don't have as much lag, but it not like there's any hacks, anything other than the core game, I think that should be allowed, but those won't even be useful once the Unity port is a thing. So, should we make a big deal? We should make a big deal about hacked clients, in my personal opinion. For people that just want to make a client to help them with their lag, I don't think it's a huge deal. But that's a very fine line to walk. So
I feel like I have a more adamant approach to it because I see it. I'm a very much all or nothing person. So for me, unfortunately, I feel like it's only fair for people to use the current modern client or to not use any modifications at all. And I think ATrapper brings a great point of waiting for Unity because it is so easy to say, oh, let me add that no seeing players so I don't lag in a hostiles. And while I'm doing that, let me just add that auto aim or add that auto nexus. You know, so if you're out there, listen, if you're out there using a hacked client, stop it. Get some help. But yeah, I'm very much against any client modifications of any type.
that was me.
Guys, make sure to be sending us questions if you guys want to ask some questions to the next guest. Since we don't have any more, we'll be going straight to announcements. We have some new announcements this week. First of all, go to our sponsors. They're great, especially Realm Slayers. Realm Slayers is going to be great for the 2x event whites.
Can I add a random tangent real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Remember how we were complaining about the misery boxes?
Yeah.
Well, I've been running around just doing miscellaneous stuff on Realm, and I just got the 10 Mad God token from the mystery box. And I don't even need the skins. I've got them all.
You're not allowed to be here anymore.
Oh, okay. Later, guys.
See ya. Second of all, we're going to be uploading once a week still, but each one of our episodes is going to have at least 2 guests on them, as long as we can find the amount of people required to do that for 4 weeks straight. Deca sponsor win. Guys, please email questions and any inquiries to decadebrief@gmail.com. We will respond to you as fast as possible, and we'll work with you for whatever you may need. This show was produced and edited by Erica Starr, CW Girl, and Mr. Raven. The other two don't get nearly enough credit, guys. Just know that they spend literal hours editing my 5,000 breaths out and any messes I happen to make. Thank you all so much for coming on.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Like I said on the first episode, I really enjoy doing things with the community when it comes to podcasts, just stuff like this. It's just something I really enjoy doing. So I'm glad that you guys had me on.
I'm a huge proponent of listening to stuff in the background while I play video games. So whenever I hear that there's a Realm of the Mad God podcast that I can listen to while I'm playing other games like Overwatch, I mean, it excites me. I'm glad to be on here. I'm glad to support a channel like this. And thank you guys so much for having me.
That was Deca Debrief, and thanks for listening. I hope to see you all next week.